I have just created a randomizer that will decide how I play Hardcore Classic WoW. It will pick a random class, race, gender, and appearance combination, and I will play it until I die. The goal is to go through each class once, attempting to reach level 60. Join me in this journey of self-discovery and overconfidence. This is 60 or Die Trying. On the last episode, we avenged our first character by defeating Fizzle Darkstorm. We ventured into Silverpine Forest and lived in constant panic for a couple of hours. Took in some new vibes, you know I just had to do it, and we successfully completed our first dungeon.
Ragefire Chasm.
Welcome to episode 4. If you're here, you are in my top 10 favorite viewers. He only has 10 viewers. Here's a quick progress report of our current character, Leon Bovine. We're level 18, we have a full set of green gear with no standout pieces. Our current animal forms, bear. For our talent tree, we're currently focused on balance and will reset it at level 20 and switch to feral. And finally, for our professions, we are at level 82 herbalism and level 60 alchemy. Our goals for this episode are to unlock the cat form, complete the Wailing Caverns dungeon to obtain a huge staff upgrade and other possible loot, unlock a new gear slot, shoulders or ring probably, and reach level 23. If you believe that this character will make it to level 30, leave an hashtag BoviBeliever in the comment section down below. Back in the crossroads, our confidence full, it was time to lock in and get back to questing. We continued sabotaging Peppa's evil plans and established our dominance of the animal reign for the first time. And the second. And the third. And the fourth. Seriously, there's even more animal on animal crime going on in the Barrens. That's not cool, man. Oh, and by the way, in the previous clip you might have noticed the big bird was sleeping. That's our new spell, Hibernate. It allows us to force animals and Dragonkin to take an involuntary nap. We then mauled some pirates with swords to death, casted spells on some pirates with guns, and chased down their coward leader, who does not deserve the title of Baron. Coming back to turn in our quests, we had a terrible realization. This town is full of goblins. You remember our encounters with goblins, right? Leon Bovie was not happy with these, but they pay well, so what can you do? Our next quests took us to a beautiful oasis.
Vibe alert!
We came across these miners and they're extracting some green stuff from the ground. I'm honestly quite curious as to what it is, but I don't really read any quest text, so I have no idea. We started working on unlocking our aquatic form, and the first fitting task was to dive deep into a lake. We found a precious stone and delivered it to the coolest guy we've seen so far. Corpse on the ground, we kneel. This quest item has a really low drop chance. We grouped up with a bunch of people, and then we got it in 20 seconds. The power of friendship. Apparently Caverns have spread their wings to these parts of the lands as well. No bueno. Another boot upgrade. Back to the crossroads. We delivered a dozen quests. This place is quite dangerous, but there was already a party here, so we just sneaked past them and the raptors and grabbed the quest item from right under their noses. Sneaky. So apparently centaurs are a big enemy of the local population, and as an Age of Mythology fan, I do not approve of this. Level 20! It's time to get cat form, baby! Now that we can turn into a badass feline with 2 giant horns and sharp claws, our leveling is going to skyrocket. We're going to reset our talents, and that means we can grab feline swiftness, which increases our movement speed when we are in cat form. Let's go, Bovie! Our next destination was Stone Talon Mountains. We had to defeat some rebellious Taurens, but thankfully we were disguised as a feral cat so they didn't get offended. They were holding one of the good ones hostage, and while escorting her to safety, we roleplayed as an actual pet. That was great. We got ambushed by 3 of them at a time, but we managed to survive. Druid is starting to feel really strong now. Honestly, I'm just having way too much fun roleplaying as a cat, and the barren savannah just feels natural. After hunting down some turtles and asserting that we are in fact the king of the jungle, we went back to Goblin Town to turn in some quests. I still don't trust these guys, honestly. And after a few more side quests, we finally hit level 22. Do you know what this means? First, we now have 2 points in feline swiftness, so we get that juicy 30% movement speed when we're walking outdoors. Secondly, it's finally time for our next dungeon.
The Wailing Caverns!
This dungeon is located in the Barrens, and it's for levels between 15 and 25. It's a lot more challenging than our previous one, and a lot of people have died here. Let's go into the details. Outside of the bosses, there are two notable trash mobs. Druid of the Fang. These sexy night elves can cast Druid Slumber, which will put one of us to sleep. We should try to interrupt them when they're casting it and avoid fighting multiple at a time. And the Deviant Guardians. These blue raptors with a lot of bling will call for help when low on health, meaning that they will pull nearby monsters even through walls, so we need to pull them away from other mobs when possible. Now for the real villains of this segment. First, I know everyone has heard of OnlyFangs, but what about the Fang Lords? This group of sexy daredevils are here to cause trouble, and I'm all for it, honestly. Lady Anaconda is the first one we're going to run into. She can put us to sleep, so we need to make sure we interrupt that whenever possible. She can drop the Belt of the Fang and the Serpent's Shoulders. While the shoulders don't have any stats, we don't have any shoulder armor yet, so both of these items would be an upgrade for us. Lord Cobran. Just like most modern rappers claim, he's surrounded by a bunch of snakes, so we need to kill them before focusing him down. He can also put us to sleep. Ironically, he himself will turn into a snake at some point into the fight. Really makes you think, huh? In terms of drops, he drops the Leggings of the Fang, an amazing pair of pants that we would absolutely love to get. Lord Pythas. First off, this guy is absolutely swagged out. Check out those pants. Sarah, take notes please. He can put us to sleep and also has some sidekicks that we need to kill. He drops the Armor of the Fang. It's not really an upgrade, but it looks sick and is part of a set, so we take that. And Lord Serpentis, the last of the Fang Lords. He looks pretty sick as well, but other than being able to put us to sleep, he doesn't really have any ads that we need to kill, so he's probably the easiest of the four. He drops the Boots of the Fang, which despite being green, are still a pretty good item for us. And then, fitting the theme of this episode, we have some animals that we need to have a word with. First off, we have Crash. He's a large turtle that doesn't have any notable mechanics other than taking a long time to kill, and he doesn't drop anything of interest to us. Scum. He's a Kodo, he's pretty easy to kill, he has a weird ass name, and he can drop the Lizard Scale Cloak. 6 agility, we would love to have it. The final, official boss of the dungeon is Verdun the Ever Living. He's probably the hardest boss in the dungeon, and is known to have taken a few lives in his lifetime. He can root targets close to him and knock them down, so ranged DPS and healers should stay at max range. If we're tanking, we have to be very careful since this guy hits pretty damn hard. Additionally, he does not have any drops we really want as a druid. After we kill this boss, there is a special event to escort the Torrent Disciple through the dungeon to a secret place and fight an extra boss, Mutanus the Devourer. Before killing the boss, we have to defeat waves of enemies while the Disciple performs a funky ritual, and at the end this beautiful and weirdly shiny Murloc joins the party and we have to kill him. He's got some spicy abilities like Thundercrack that damages and stuns nearby enemies, but his loot is so good that the risk is worth it. We get a chance of getting our first engagement ring, Deep Fathom Ring, and seeing as we're completely void of bling on our fingers, this would be a massive drop. He also drops the Slime Encrusted Pads, despite being cloth armor and therefore giving us a lower amount of armor than leather armor, and I just totally ruined that word for myself. Anyway, that's pretty much it in terms of the Wailing Caverns, so now we're going to find a party and get going. Okay, we're finally ready to hop in. That's a lot of snakes. Okay, Wailing Caverns, here we go. A lot of good drops here. One thing I am a bit concerned about is we don't have that many interrupts for the sleep spells, which is obviously not very ideal. Other than that, our party is looking pretty good, everyone's super chill, so I'm sure we'll be completely fine. It's my first time taking this dungeon, and first time doing it as well in Classic. We have to watch out for the blue raptors because when they're close to dying, they can pull nearby mobs. Our rogue is doing a really good job of interrupting the casts, so that's a really good sign. Okay, we dragged the blue raptor away from the other ones, just so we could make sure that he doesn't call them. Okay, we chain pulled a little bit here. Let's try focusing the druid first. Don't know if he'll pull anyone from here, let's see. He did, okay, so the distance is quite far away, we really need to keep this in mind. As he did pull a lot of people here.
None can stand against the serpent lords.
Okay, here's the boss. I didn't realize this was the boss. It's not ideal. I need to make sure that... Well, first I need to make sure that I keep the aggro on me. Second, I need to make sure that I will interrupt her if she casts a sleep. But the rogue seems to be pretty on point with that. So I'll just focus on keeping the aggro on me. That was quite scuffed, so my bad. Anyway, the drops we were looking for from Lady Anaconda were the belt or the shoulders. And we got neither of those. Or actually, yeah, one guy did get the shoulders. I'm losing aggro a lot of the time. I'm not 100% sure if it's something that's on my end that I should be doing differently or what it is. I would like to figure that out, but at the same time, I don't really want to be tanking forever. It's just something that I'm doing at this point to try to get dungeon groups a little bit faster. And in the future, I'll just be going as DPS probably. Especially the hunter is taking aggro from me a lot. Refresh my thorns. I also should refresh my buff on the rest of the team. Okay, now I don't have mana to go into bear farm, great. Okay, now we do. Let's go. Just trying to see if we could avoid pulling all of them. But it seems like we can't. I'm going to use my shout to reduce melee damage here. We should kill the small snakes first. I'm going to focus on that. Try to keep the aggro on me if possible. Druids are a priority because they can put us to sleep if we don't interrupt it. Doing good so far. Yeah, there's the sleep spell. Interrupted by a rogue once again. Great. And there's the next boss, Lord Cobran. Really sick pants. The whole Druid of the Fang outfit looks really good. Okay, Lord Cobran, we're supposed to kill the little snakes first. We're buffed, we're good to go. Our healer is at full mana now. Time to lock in and let's do it. Killing the snakes first. There we go. Oh, we missed our stun. That's not good. Okay, yeah, but he just died so fast. Oh, that's too bad. This guy could have dropped some really good pants for us. Unfortunately, all we got was a mail belt, which we can't use. Jumping down here. Yeah, that belt's pretty good for the warrior. Happy for him. Okay, here's Crash. He's just a tanky boss. No special mechanics. He doesn't drop anything of relevance to us. So let's just get through him quickly. The thing I'm wondering is, if I don't complete all of the quests, should I come back here tomorrow for another run, or should I just move on? I'm not sure if it's worth the time to go through it again, but the dungeon does have a lot of good drops for us, which I wouldn't mind getting at all. It would be truly amazing if we got any of the blue leather drops, or the ring from the final Murloc boss. I think those are the main things we're looking for, some leather armor and the ring. Okay, 4 monsters. Might be a bit tricky. Try to get rid of who we can first. I think the druids are probably the priority. I have no idea where we're supposed to go here. We're at a crossroads, so I'll just let the guys direct me. Seems like they want to go left side, which is good. Let's just clear this guy so he's not patrolling around. Another fork in the road. No one knows the way, which is totally fine. We'll just go right and see where this leads us. Taking a sneaky little herb. Okay, let's try to pull these two guys without pulling the boss if we can. That would be ideal. Okay, our healer is goated actually. He just gave us 3 pots. One of them we already had, but the other 2 we did not have on us. So, yeah, goated healer. Good old tank and spank, no special abilities here. In terms of the drops, Scum can drop a pretty nice cape, so that's what we're wishing for. If we manage to get it, fingers crossed. Yeah, there it is! Glowing Lizard Scale Cloak. As you can see, it's almost 1000% upgrade for damage, which is what we're using when leveling, so fingers crossed. Let's roll need, okay. I won! Hey, really good, guys. Okay, this dungeon was already worth it. We got the Lizard Scale Cloak with a roll of 70. Ah, feels good, man, feels good. Here comes a tricky part of the dungeon where we have to jump. If we don't jump, we fall down. Here we go, we jumped, we did not fall down. I believe that if you're at full HP, you still don't die from that jump if you fall. But yeah, we don't want to fall because it would set us back a lot in terms of progressing and finishing the dungeon. And there's the star of the show, Lord Serpentis. What a baller. We're still missing one of the lords, which I thought we would have killed by now, since that's supposedly the final boss of the dungeon. Oh, nice, the bow drop. The hunter mentioned he was waiting for that. So that's big for him. This bow is really, really strong at this point in the game, from what I can see. Okay, yeah, this guy can be a bit tricky. To be ready to pop out of bear form and heal myself if needed. But I think we should be good. Our healer still has a bunch of mana. I cannot stun him, that's sad. So yeah, let's just DPS him down, and there we go. Spirit cape. Yeah, this cape would have been okay, but we got the better cape earlier. Okay, so apparently while we were wandering around getting lost through the caves, we took a wrong turn somewhere. Okay, we wanted to kill Lord Pythas after the Murloc, but we need to kill him before we can actually kill the Murloc, so yeah. Well, that's good at least. We're going back, we're making sure we can kill him because, as I said earlier, I really need him to get the Crescent Staff, which is one of the best staffs I can get at this point in the game. So yeah, I really need to complete this quest. I'm just following the rogue around, and as he seems to be the guy with most experience, this little maneuver is gonna cost us years. Always nice to have people in a good mood when you're doing a dungeon. I think the community for hardcore classic WoW is unmatchable. I've never been part of something like this. Everyone is really nice, looking out for each other, patient. Reminds me of when I played Guild Wars 2. The community there was really good as well. But I think here the feeling of knowing that if you die, your character is gone and you really want to help everyone stay alive, yeah, that's really good. Oh, one of the guildies just died. Rest in peace, Lelo Lelole. But yeah, some people will still roach when things get sticky and put their lives above the lives of the others, and that's totally understandable. If you're spending hours or days on a character and someone else makes a mistake, you don't really want to go down with them, unless they're like a friend of yours or a guildmate or whatever. But it's really cool to see that for a lot of people, their first instinct is really to save everyone, stay in the fight. Yeah, it's just noble. Feels good. Okay, there he is, Lord Pythas. This bloke on the block. But look at those pants, man. Okay, we should kill this druid first since he has less health, I think, but the team is focusing the other guy, so I'm going to follow their lead. I missed my... Okay, that's pretty bad. I missed the sleep. Oh, this guy's also putting someone to sleep. We have one person sleeping. Okay, one person sleeping is fine. The guy's dead. Armor of the Fang. Okay, yeah, nice. This is one of the drops we were kind of interested in. It's only a slight upgrade, but I think I might roll need on these because it has more armor, and if we get 2 pieces, we get a little bonus. And that completes our quest. I didn't have space for the armor, so it stayed on the corpse. I had to run back to get it. There we go. We won the roll as well, with a 67 versus a 46. And we have our new piece of armor. Just a small upgrade. Looks so good, guys. You have no idea. Look at this. That looks sick, man. To be honest, I think I did a terrible, terrible job of tanking in this dungeon. I had a lot of trouble keeping aggro and threat army. Did not go as planned, but these guys absolutely killed it. Every single one of them played out of their minds. After escorting the Disciple of Nerlex through the dungeon, we're reaching the ritual spot where I'm not sure if he's going to try to revive this guy or what he's going to do, but he's going to start performing a ritual here, and waves of enemies are going to come out of this lake. We have to kill those enemies. At the end, we get the shiny, weird, honestly a bit creepy Murloc. We have to kill him. And once again, the drops that we're looking for from that Murloc are a pair of shoulders and a ring. We don't really have a ring yet, so a ring would be massive, and the same goes for shoulders. They are cloth shoulders, but if we get them, it would be so huge. That would mean that we got two very considerable drops out of this dungeon run, which would make me very, very happy. Little slimy slimes. Still missing 2 Wailing essences to finish that quest. It would be nice if those little slimes drop them. But there we go, 6 out of 6, perfect. And here comes Mutanus the Devourer. Wow, look at this guy. So shiny. I think this fight is also pretty straightforward, as most of them were. This is a... This attack, I think we want to interrupt, so I did that there. I only have one interrupt in the form of a stun, and it has a 1-minute cooldown, so I think I did my best. This guy is mind controlled. We can attack him. Ah, okay. So unfortunately, we did not get the drop we were looking for. That's unfortunate, but really good for our warrior. So yeah, happy to see him get that. After completing the dungeon, we turned in our quests. This is where the spice comes in. Not only did we get the Crescent Staff, which is a huge upgrade for our character, but we also unlocked our first pair of shoulders. I had no idea this was coming. We're already halfway past level 23, and we are looking sick. If you made it this far into the episode, I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. Every single viewer who watches these videos means a lot to me. If you have any suggestions or feedback about this series, feel free to leave it in the comments, I would appreciate it very much. And in the next episode, we're going for level 30. See you next week.